हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल माइंड बूस्टर। इस वीडियो में हम देखेंगे पॉलिटिकल थियरी, ग्रोथ एंड इवोल्यूशन कि पॉलिटिकल थियरी का ग्रोथ और इवोल्यूशन कैसे हुआ। पॉलिटिकल थियरी हैज़ इन द वेस्ट पास थ्रू डिफरेंट स्टेजेस। पॉलिटिकल थियरी वेस्ट में कितने डिफरेंट अलग अलग स्टेजेस से पास हुई है। There was a time when, during the ancient Greek and the medieval period, political theory would concern itself with identifying the ethical goal of the state. Means उस टाइम पे एशियन ग्रीक के और मिडिवल पीरियड के टाइम पे पॉलिटिकल थेरी का क्या गोल था कि वो जो स्टेट के इथिकल गोल है उसको अचीव कर सके, आइडेंटिफाई कर सके। दैट इज द ऑब्जेक्टिव्स विच द स्टेट वुड चेरिश टू अचीव. Both Plato and Aristotle would insist on the function of the state to establish justice or give the individual a good life. तो जो हमारे उस टाइम के फिलोसोफर थे प्लेटो एंड एरिस्टोटल, तो उनका फंक्शन क्या था कि जो हमारा स्टेट है वो जस्टिस एस्टैब्लिश कर सके एंड इंडिविजुअल को एक गुड लाइफ दे सके. एंड एट दैट टाइम द मिड 20th century political theory dealt largely with the institution of the state, making the concept of power to be the basic theme of the state. तो जो बेसिक थीम स्टेट का था कि पावर मीन्स पावर को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना. The growth and evolution of political theory can be elaborated in three major streams. तो ये जो ग्रोथ और इवोल्यूशन है उसको 3 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड किया गया था. दिस आर, पहला है क्लासिकल पॉलिटिकल थेरी, सेकेंड वन इज मॉडर्न पॉलिटिकल थेरी एंड थर्ड वन इज कंटेम्पररी पॉलिटिकल थेरी. द क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ पॉलिटिकल थेरी इनटू क्लासिकल, मॉडर्न एंड कंटेम्पररी इज इंडीड थीमेटिक. What divides the classical or the traditional from the modern is the element of science in the latter and its absence in the former. तो हमको कैसे पता चलेगा कि ये क्लासिकल है, ये मॉडर्न है एंड ये कंटेम्पररी है. तो क्लासिकल और मॉडर्न में क्या डिफरेंस था कि जो एलिमेंट्स थे साइंस के जो आज प्रेजेंट है तो वो फॉर्मर में absent थे. मतलब जो चीज़ें साइंस की आज प्रेजेंट है, मॉडर्न एज में प्रेजेंट है, वो क्लासिकल पीरियड में absent थी. तो इससे हम ये पता लगा सकते हैं कि ये पीरियड क्लासिकल पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी का था एंड ये वाला पीरियड मॉडर्न पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी का है. Philosophy dominates the classical tradition of political theory, whereas science and its methodology dominates the modernist. Classical ट्रेडिशन पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी का क्या था, फिलोसॉफी का था, एंड जो आज का है क्या है, साइंस, और इसका मेथडोलॉजी है वो मॉडर्न पीरियड का है. As an exception, there may be an Aristotle and a Thomas in the ancient and medieval period of the West. जो एरिस्टोटल थे वो कौन से पीरियड के थे, वो एंशियंट और मिडिवल पीरियड के थे. And might have emphasized the science element while discovering the law of public life, and there may be straws in our times who might see the utility of philosophy in the study of politics. एंड जो स्ट्रॉस वो कौन से मॉडर्न पीरियड के थे, मॉडर्न पीरियड के हैं जो जिन्होंने क्या देखा कि फिलोसॉफी की यूटिलिटी पॉलिटिक्स में. लाइकवाइज मॉडर्न पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी एंड कंटेम्पररी पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी आर समवॉट डिफरेंट. मॉडर्न पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी एंड कंटेम्पररी पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी समवॉट डिफरेंट है, एट लीस्ट इन द एसेंस. मॉडर्न पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी एम्पेरिकल एंड साइंटिफिक. जो मॉडर्न पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी है वो कैसी है, एम्पेरिकल है एंड साइंटिफिक है. एम्पेरिकल मीन्स उसमें डिस्क्रिप्शन देकर है प्रॉपरली, एंड कैसा है वो साइंटिफिक है. मीन्स फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल उसकी स्टडी होगी, देन उसका टेस्ट होगा एंड फिर हमको कंक्लूजन मिलेगा. वेयर एज कंटेम्पररी पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी फिलोसॉफिकल एंड हिस्टोरिकल. लेकिन जो कंटेम्पररी है पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी वो कैसा है, वो हिस्ट्री पे ज़्यादा बिलीव करती है एंड वो फिलोसॉफिकल है. उसके आइडियाज़, उसकी ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ये ज़्यादा मैटर करते हैं उसमें. कंटेम्पररी पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी अटेम्प्ट टू सिंथेसाइज द इसेंस ऑफ बोथ द क्लासिकल एंड मॉडर्न पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी. तो गाइस हमने अभी सिर्फ ये देखा है कि ग्रोथ और इवोल्यूशन कैसे हुआ. नाउ हम आगे बढ़ेंगे जो अलग अलग हमने फेज देखे, दैट इज़ क्लासिकल पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी, मॉडर्न पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी एंड कंटेम्पररी पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी. तो हम उसको और ब्रीफ में पढ़ेंगे. तो हम सबसे पहले देखेंगे क्लासिकल पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी। क्लासिकल पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी इमर्ज होता है एंशियंट ग्रीक कल्चर में, और सोक्रेट्स, प्लेटो एंड एरिस्टोटल है जिन्होंने क्लासिकल पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी के बारे में लिखा है। एंड ये कब तक कंटिन्यू होती है? ये 19th सेंचुरी तक कंटिन्यू होती है। एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू शेल्डन वॉलन, रिलेटिंग टू पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी कंसिस्ट ऑफ द फॉलोइंग। तो ये कुछ पॉइंट्स है जो शेल्डन वॉलन ने लिखे हैं regarding classical political theory. So first one is that classical political theory aimed at acquiring reliable knowledge. That is, we have to have some reliable knowledge about matter concerning the people. A political pursuit to establish a rational basis for belief. That is, if we have to establish a rational basis for belief, we should have reliable knowledge about matter. Okay, a politically inspired pursuit to establish a rational basis for action. So this was the first point. Now moving on second point, it sought to identify the political with the public, the common, that is, we have to identify, that is, the public, the common, the Greek polis, the Roman res publica, and the medieval age usage of commonwealth. That is, we have to identify different type of peoples, all denoted as sharing of what was common among the people as partner. That is, in this categories of people, we have to identify that which of the things are common as partners in this particular people. Third one is, its basic unit of analysis was always the political whole. That is, we have to consider the political as a whole, the body politics, the interrelated structure denoting activity, relationship and belief. Activity relating to ruling, that is, different type of activities such as ruling, warfare, education, religious practices, relationship involving those between social classes, that is, relationship between social classes, between the rulers and the ruled, that is, the person who is ruling and the person who is ruled, between the superior and the inferior, beliefs such as justice, equality, natural law and the like. Means these are the belief, that is justice, equality, natural law, these are the beliefs. So this was the third point. And fourth one is relating itself to the political whole. The classical political theory laid emphasis on order, balance, equilibrium, stability and harmony. That is, we have to see such things, that is, we have to maintain order, we have to maintain the balance, the equilibrium, the stability and the harmony of the particular state. That is why it in the process dwelled on terms such as conflict, anarchy, instability and revolution. These are the terms we should be involved in regarding this order, balance, etc. That is conflict, anarchy, instability and revolution. Fifth one is classical political theory laid stress on comparative studies. That is, this classical political theory is giving stress on comparative studies for supplying a more comprehensive explanation of political phenomena. That is, if we want more explanation on political phenomena, we have to give stress. That is, classical political theory is giving stress on comparative studies. Okay, and a wider range of alternatives. That was the reason that classical political theory developed a classification of political form. That's why the classical political theory developed a classification of political form, that is monarchy, aristocracy, democracy and their variant. That is, this monarchy, aristocracy, democracy, these are the form of government and their variants, and a set of concepts such as law, citizenship, justice and participation, so as to explain difference and similarities between them. The means, guys, these are some terms which is involved in political theory, that is in the government, such as law and order, citizenship, that we are the citizenship of our state, justice, that we want justice, and participation, so as to explain differences and it is between them. So this was the fifth point. Now moving forward, our sixth point is classical political theory had been largely ethical in perspective. That is, classical political theory is ethical in its perspective. Its response was rooted in a moral outlook. Plato advocated the ideal state. Aristotle, a state that can achieve the best possible. Saint Augustine, the city of God. Classical political theory undertook to appraise the various constitutional forms to determine the form most suitable for a particular set of circumstances and to decide if any absolutely the best form of possible. So this was the sixth point. Now seventh one, classical political theory by projecting the best form of polity as the ideal revealed the boldness and radicalism of classical theorizing, though some dismiss such an attempt as merely utopian and visionary. So guys, this was some seventh point regarding the classical political theory. First of all, the important thing we have to note down that the classical political theory is a old political theory. The political theory or the ideas or the theory which is running at the time of Greek or at the time of mid 19th century. So these are the policies, these are the theories which was running at that time. Now in the next video we will move forward, we will understand what is modern political theory. And in this modern political theory also we will have some points. So guys, we will see this in the next video. I hope you like the video, and if you have to see all type of video, then do like, comment and share, and also subscribe my channel, and wait for the next video. Thank you.